Hey guys, Magnus here bringing you another video. Today we will be looking at my top 10 characters for 2018. So yeah, finally got this video around. We went through all the major, minor and mini events first, which I think is more important. But characters are really important too. They're the thing that I look forward to the most out of every update. So I think this list to me is the most important. Apart from obviously the actual event list. So yeah, I mean, let's get into it, really. We're going to start with some honourable mentions. So my first honourable mention is Dave Shutton. Now, this is so hard. This list has been so hard for me because I'm really trying to pick. I'm trying to pick between characters who are... Look, because at the end of the day, if the character is a big character in The Simpsons, doesn't necessarily mean they're a great character in Tapped Out. I thought Dave Sutton was okay. I didn't think he was that amazing, though. I think, yes, he's a big character from The Simpsons, so he was important to get. And I think the role he played in Who Shot Mr. Burns was okay. And I think his questline was okay. I just think that... he wasn't too amazing. That's why he didn't quite make my list. But I did like him overall. I thought he was still pretty cool. My next honourable mention is Birch Barlow. Of course, he was essentially our first character we got in 2018. And I do think he was a pretty cool character. I think that they had some cool tasks with him. And his questline's pretty good. Again, I just don't think he overwhelmed me that much for me to put him on the list. Another is Nosferatu. I really love the look of Nosferatu. I think he looks so cool. I really love the look of him. I think his questline was meh. It wasn't too great, but it was okay. And he has some pretty cool tasks actually. And I just think he looks awesome. And I was pretty glad to get him. And then my last honourable mention goes to Corporal Punishment. And this is a character I've wanted in the game for a while. I know he's a background character. I know there isn't really anything that amazing about him. The only thing I really love him for, again, is his look. I just think he looks cool as shit. So I think, yeah, that's the reason I really liked him. I really wanted him in the game. He gets an honourable mention. But anyway, let's get into the actual list now. So those are my honourable mentions. Number 10 goes to Ronald Reagan. So I'm actually putting a president on the list. Now, the reason I'm putting Ronald Reagan on the list is, first of all, I love the building he comes with. I think it's a great president to have as a character. I'm trying to stay very... When I say he's a great character and he's a great president, I'm not saying I support his views or I don't support his views. I am not commenting on that. But I think in terms of a recognizable president, he's a good president to add into the game, and that's what I mean when I say that. So yeah, he's really cool to get, and I think his tasks are actually really awesome. I really like that. I thought his questline was pretty funny, and they made a Trump joke. I mean, but it was quite clever, actually. It was a fairly clever Trump joke. I mean, most Trump jokes aren't very clever, but I thought that one was pretty clever. So, I'll give it that. I thought it was okay. Yeah, and I liked him overall. I thought they did a really good questline with him. I thought he was a great president to add into the game because he's so recognizable. I thought the building he came with was amazing. And yeah, I just really enjoyed getting him, and I really enjoyed actually adding him to the town. So I know he's not a big Simpsons character, so to speak, but I think what they did with him in Tapped Out, it was really, really good. So he gets the number 10 spot, beating Birch Barlow and Dave and Nosferatu and Corporal Punishment, which I feel kind of funny putting him above, especially Dave Shutton, and Birch Barlow, who are characters who appeared quite a lot. I do find it a little bit funny putting him above that, but I think in terms of my heart's telling me Ronald Reagan. Anyway, number 9. Number 9 goes to Howard K. Duff. So yeah, not really much to say here, but Howard K. Duff I just thought was a really solid character, really perfect character to add for that St. Patrick's Day update. I think what they did with him was really good. I think his questline was really good, and I think the way he was involved with that event made perfect sense, and I think, yeah, he's just an awesome character to get. He's a character, of course, who's been in The Simpsons for a while, and is a character that I really wanted to see in the game, and I'm glad they added him in. I just think that he was a little underwhelming, and I think that's just because the character as a whole in The Simpsons is a little underwhelming sometimes. Like, it's not like he's a Mr. Burns type where he's just this really evil, conniving guy. He's just a businessman, but he's not really. I think that, you know, there isn't anything that really wowed me about him, but I thought he was a pretty solid character to get, and I think his questline was pretty good, so he definitely gets the number 9 spot. But I just think he didn't really wow me too much, so he doesn't really get any higher. Anyway, Number eight goes to Katanga. So yeah, I didn't really comment too much on this cat guy, but I was really glad that we got Katanga. Now, I did want it to kind of be an around the world event, but I thought the zoo event made enough sense. So I didn't complain about it really. I thought it made enough sense, so I wasn't gonna make a big deal out of it. But yeah, Katanga is really cool. I think he's got really cool quest lines, really cool tasks. I wish there was a task with him fighting a hippopotamus. I'm not gonna lie, but for the most part, he's a really, really solid character. He's got, I think he does have voice, doesn't he? I'm pretty sure he has voice. I'm not 100% sure on that, actually. I don't remember. But, yeah, I think overall he was just really cool to get. And I'm really glad we got him. Yeah, I mean, there's not really much to say. He's just a really lovable character. Of course, is a one-episode character, but he appeared in the episode quite frequently. So I think it's fair to put him above Howard K. Duff, and of course, fair enough to put him above like Dave and Birch Barlow as well. But yeah, I thought overall, pretty cool character. Number 7 goes to Allison Taylor. So I thought Allison Taylor was, again, pretty cool. So this is a character that has appeared, she has her own episode, and ever since then, she just appears in the background. I really like her character in Tapped Out. I think they have a nice quest line, and they have good tasks too. I think, you know, she's not amazing, but then I don't think any of these characters were too amazing, the ones below her anyway. But I do think, just overall, she's a really solid character, a recognisable character, and I think what they did with her was really cool. She, of course, comes with her house as well, which makes a lot of sense, and I'm glad we got that in the game. But yeah, overall, I think she's a really, really solid character. There's not really much more to say, not really much more to comment on. Anyway, number 6 goes to Wendell Burton. So yeah, Wendell Burton. I really liked him. I think he was the one redeeming factor in Battle Royale. Like, really, like... without him, it wouldn't have been as good. Like, I know we got Pyro and we got like Snake Jailbird and stuff like that, but I think Wendell was a really redeeming thing for Battle Royale. To get Wendell in the game, especially in the first major update, was pretty satisfying. Although the update was really bad, I'm still really happy that we got Wendell. I think his questline's really cool. His tasks are pretty awesome. I love how they play on the whole fact he's just a really sickly kid. That's really good. I wish I was happy that they did that. And I think he just looks really cool as well. I don't know. There's something about his look. It's just because he's really pale. You can just tell he's sick. I don't know. It kind of amuses me. He's in pain constantly, because I'm a sick bastard. But yeah, Wendell gets number 6. And then number 5 goes to, now I'm grouping these two characters, but it goes to Sam and Larry. Now the only reason I'm grouping these two, and I'm not going to group any other characters in this list, because these two characters came together, like you bought them together. So I think they deserve to be like grouped together, but other characters who may or may not be on this list weren't grouped together. You had to buy them separately. So I'm grouping these guys together. So I think overall, Sam and Larry were really cool. I really liked getting them in the game. Now, we've got to be honest here. Although we're really glad we have them in the game, they have absolutely no character. Like, they are just barflies. And that's the reason I didn't put them any higher, because they are just guys who sit in the bar. The reason I put them above everyone else, though, on this list is because I've wanted them for so goddamn long, and I think they did the best they could with what they had in terms of their questline and tasks. I think it was really good. I liked the whole Mo Express thing. I liked the questline that they did for Sam and Larry. I thought it was really solid, and I loved the tasks as well. I've got nothing to complain about them. That's the thing. I'm really glad they're in the game, and I know that they're not massive characters, but I think I've wanted them for a long time, and they finally were added into the game, and I think, yeah, they're pretty cool. And again, they were another really good redeeming factor to Battle Royale, as Wendell was. And I think if Wendell and these two guys really kind of made Battle Royale, you know, made it an actual, like, it made me tolerate it at least. So, yeah, I really liked Salmon Larry. I think they're really, really awesome. So they get the number 5 spot, but they don't get any higher because they're not that big. They're not that big of characters, so I can't give them any higher. And then number 4 goes to Poochie. So yeah, I really love Poochie. Of course, it's from my favourite mini events of the year. So I had to put it on the list. I had to put Poochie somewhere on the list. He goes here. I think he was really, really awesome. Nothing really too much to complain about him, really. I think his tasks are pretty cool. I liked how he was, the prize. He was free. And I liked how they revolved the whole event around him. I think that worked out really well. And actually, I think if they just shoved him into Itchy and Scratchy, it wouldn't have been as sort of compelling as having him have his own update. He essentially led that update in a sense, as Alice Glick has led this new update. He kind of led that update. It was all about him. And I think he's just a really solid character. I really love his tasks. I really love his questline, and I think the event that he essentially ran was just really cool. And I think he was utilized really well. So yeah, Poochie gets number 4. 4? Yeah. Anyway, number 3 goes to Sarah Wiggum. So yeah, Sarah Wiggum. Again, this character was like my number 3, I think. I think it was my number 3 on my top 20 characters that I want in the game. And she was there for a long time. Like, she reigned as number 3 for a while. And she finally was knocked off in Mozark when she was added into this. Now, she was added to the Springfield Aquarium, which I don't think was the perfect fit for her. I think there were better buildings that she could have been added with. But I think overall, I'm happy that she's in the game. I thought her questline... Now, the one thing that doesn't get her number 1 is I thought her questline and tasks weren't amazing. I didn't think they were as solid as they could be. Now, I don't think they're bad. I still think they're really good, but I think they could have been a little bit better. But I think overall the character just looks really cool. I love the fact that she's a family member. We've finally got the whole Wiggum family, or at least we've at least got the the one that lived. And Ralph's finally got his mother back, which is good. And I think she's just a pretty cool character. And I think I'm glad that they've actually finally added her into the game. Not really got anything more to comment. That's Sarah Wiggum, number 3. And then number 2 goes to Scratchy. So of course, as I said, I am splitting Itchy and Scratchy up, as of course they were sold separately. So Scratchy was really, really cool. He was premium, which I think doesn't get him the number 1 spot. The reason he's not the number 1 spot is he was premium and he was very expensive, and I feel like that was wrong. He should have been free. Both Itchy and Scratchy should be free, and I think that was the one mistake they made, making Scratchy premium. I don't think they should have done that. I think that was kind of wrong. But overall, Scratchy was really cool. His tasks are awesome. His animations are awesome. His questline was pretty good too, and I think he was utilized in the event so well. Of course, he has 50% of the lead of Itchy and Scratchy, which was the best event in the game. Now, I think the fact he was premium kind of ruined that a little bit, because he wasn't involved for every player. But for the players who purchased him, he of course made this event. He is the part of this event. He's the main focus of the Itchy and Scratchy event. So Scratchy, really, really awesome character. But there is another character we've got to give it to. We've got to give that number 1 spot to, and I think you guys know. But anyway, we'll have that drum roll. Of course, it goes to Itchy. So I split them up. The main reason I split them up is one's premium, one's free, and they're sold separately. So I don't think it's fair to put them together, to group them together like Salmon Larry. Salmon Larry are purchased in the same purchase. So I love Itchy. I think they really, really used him well in the Itchy and Scratchy event, and it really helped the event. He was essentially the lead of the event, as well as other characters too, like Herman and Lisa, but I think they really used him pretty well. I kind of wish they used him a tad bit more, but I think for the most part he was utilised pretty good. So, this what else can I say? Really, really awesome tasks, really, really awesome questline. I thought the way he was used in the event was really cool. Of course, he essentially led the Itchy and Scratchy event without Scratchy, which I thought was a little bit of a mistake, but I think overall it was okay. It worked out, I guess. And yeah, Itchy's just an amazing character, and I think he deserves the number 1 spot. Definitely my favourite character of the year, I think, by far. Of course, you guys voted Jesus Christ as the best character in the awards. Now, that is a character from last year, so unfortunately I can't count him in this list. But I think the thing is, I think it was because we split up Itchy and Scratchy, they didn't get as many votes. But I feel like if we grouped them up, they probably would have won Best Character of 2018. But I think overall they were two really Itchy was a really awesome character. I did have to split him and Scratchy up, but Scratchy gets number 2, so he's a close second. But yeah, my favourite character, the one I'm crowning best character of 2018, is Itchy. So you guys tell me your thoughts, which character you think is the best character of 2018. Give me your top 5 or possibly your top 10 if you have enough time. And yeah, I would love to find out which ones you guys like. But yeah, that's it for this video. Tomorrow we'll be doing my top 10 worst, and you can probably guess what the number 1's going to be for that too. But yeah, thanks for watching. I hope you enjoyed, and I'll see you next one. Goodbye.